Hey everybody, I'm Vera Stewart and welcome to the VeryVera Show. I'm so excited to have Carrie Morey with me today. And Carrie, Callie's Biscuits, I know you guys have eaten them, they're delicious. And thank you so much for coming back.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I know.
Nice to be back.
You are back for the second time and you have been quite the busy girl since I saw you last.
We've been busy. I've been passing you on the road. We've been, we opened up a new hot little biscuit shop in Virginia, Highlands in Atlanta. So we've been really busy keeping up with that and going back and forth between Virginia, Highlands, and downtown Charleston.
So you are passing me quite a bit.
Yep.
Well, now you're not going to brag on yourself, but I'm going to make you. You just recently won an award that's so amazing.
We did. So we're members of the Specialty Food Association, and they do the Sophie Awards, which is kind of like the Oscars of food. And we won a silver Sophie this year for our cocoa and cream cookie, which is our newest product. It's like a homemade Oreo. So it's a little different from the biscuits, but really delicious and super sweet.
Well, and if you've not been in her shop, you need to go because she's always letting you test these little things when she's making something new. She just walks out and lets everybody try. So what are we going to be making today out of Callie's Biscuits and Southern Traditions cookbook, which is my all-time favorite?
Oh, thank you very much. Well, this is my go-to recipe when I don't really have a dessert planned and I think, okay, this we can whip together in just a few minutes. So it is a buttermilk biscuit blueberry cobbler. So there's not a lot of mixing involved. We're just gonna turn on a cast iron skillet, add a little butter, and I'm gonna ask you to whisk that in.
Oh, absolutely.
And we're just going to make a little roux here with some flour. So just get it to a good paste. And then we have fresh blueberries, but you certainly don't need to use just blueberries.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, depending on the time of year, you could use any fruit, right?
Right now, I'm using just about anything with the blueberries or without. I love peaches and blueberries together. So you can kind of just decide whatever it is that you want. But this is just going to...
I love it.
I know, I love the smell of butter. Is it not the best? So that's just going to thicken it up a little bit.
Okay.
And then we're going to add the fresh blueberries.
Oh. My granddaughter would go crazy for this. I haven't made this recipe yet, so I'm looking forward to it.
I just love it. And then we're just gonna add a little bit of vanilla.
Oh, of course.
And some cinnamon. And then just a tiny bit of sugar.
Oh man, now it's really starting to smell great.
Good. So your children can really do this on their own, and especially if you use
Well, and you know how
biscuits.
much I love to incorporate recipes on the show that the children can make too.
Me too.
Okay, so does it matter if I mush up the blueberries a little bit?
No, because I kind of like some of them to be
that
burst
juicy
and be
stuff,
ooey gooey.
right.
I think that's perfect. And then of course we're going to add a little, well before I add the biscuits, we're gonna add a little fresh lemon juice and a little bit of zest just to give it a little tang.
Oh yeah.
So once you get that incorporated, you can see some of the blueberries are bursting, but it's really a beautiful dish too. And actually, this is the dish, my favorite photograph of the cookbook. I wanted this to be the cover. It made a quarter of the cover, but I just thought it's such a simple but beautiful dessert. It's so tasty, and everyone kind of gets their portion with the biscuits.
Okay, so now's it time to top it?
Yeah, so we've just taken our buttermilk biscuits. They're frozen. And we're just going to use this as the topping. So, you know, this will feed 10 plus people, and everyone gets their own little individual
I got to get those blueberries
biscuit.
out of there.
Oh, yeah. Shake it around. So these are just our frozen
And then
biscuits.
the great part about this is what you're going to serve it in.
Yeah, you don't have any other
And
mess.
the oven temperature?
350.
Okay.
And just to make sure that the biscuits don't get too brown, we'll foil it for most of the time that we put it in the oven, and then we'll take off the foil for the last 5 minutes just to brown them, and then butter the tops and top with turbinado.
Well, these biscuits are going to be on sale at the Fresh Market for $3 off a package, so you got to try this recipe.
And it's National Biscuit Month.
That's right, National Biscuit Month. So come back with us after the break, because we're going to get started on some party shrimp. I can't wait for that one. Welcome back back, everybody, and if you're just joining me, I am with Carrie Morey from Charleston, South Carolina, and she has Callie's Biscuits, which are those yummy biscuits you can pick up at the Fresh Market, and also both of her locations in Charleston and the Virginia Highlands area in Atlanta. But now we're going to go from biscuits to shrimp, and we're having a party in a cast iron skillet.
Yeah, doesn't that sound like fun? You want to
Okay,
come?
I know, it's awesome.
This is such a great go-to recipe. It's shrimp season, so of course I'm always trying to serve what is local and fresh, and I love the presentation of this dish. It is absolutely delicious, and it's really just something that you can gather around and have your friends and in the kitchen where everybody likes to hang out anyway, and you know, just peeling and eating. And
well, I decided that Carrie doesn't like to wash dishes because everything we're doing today is one dish. So for those of you that love to eat and don't like to clean up, these are the recipes for you.
Don't be telling my
Well,
secret.
obviously you don't need me for this part, so I'm going to wander down here because I thought it would be fun, since this is a party, for me to maybe create a great scape with some flowers.
I would
for
love
the
that.
presentation.
I'm not a flower person.
I'm going to leave you for
You got to
a
teach
minute.
me some things. I'm going to mix together some spices, and I want to see what you're going to create over there. But basically, I'm just putting together some salt and pepper, a little crushed red pepper, cayenne, a little oregano, rosemary, and thyme. So this is going to have a little bit of a spice.
Lots of different spices in that.
It's got a good kick. All right, now I see what you're doing over there, and I know nothing about arranging flowers, so I need a full tutorial.
It took me a while to figure out what I could do that you didn't know how to do. So
there's lots.
Well, I loved pottery. I mean, everybody knows that when I'm doing things on the show, I love pottery in my cabinets, and I love to mix the wood. So these are 3 jugs or pitchers, and when I go to all of the different cities where the show airs, I love to go to the colleges and buy things from the art department. So these are all college student pieces that I've picked up. So I'm going to incorporate with the shrimp and with the blueberry. I thought yellow would be awesome. So this is going to be using things that are basically in season right now, just like your shrimp. So I've got daisies, I've got Queen Anne's lace, and then I'm going to incorporate some fresh citrus.
All right, how are you going to put the lemons in there? Okay, I'm dying to know.
So we're going to do some things with that now. Here we go with butter and garlic
Butter
over
and
there.
garlic, you can't go wrong with that, and a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, and just melt that down. And we've got some beautiful shrimp, and we actually are going to leave everything on except for the heads.
Oh, wow.
Because that's part of the act and the event of eating these, is peeling them and just digging in and not worried about getting your
Well,
hands
I have
messy.
to brag a minute. You know, we have a home in Beaufort too that's on deep water, and so when the fish aren't biting, when the redfish and the trout aren't biting, then we can throw the net at the end of our dock, and so those are Beaufort shrimp.
Fabulous.
So I really we love to do that this time of year, and it's fun again for the entire family to do that.
I've taught all 3 of my girls how to throw a cast net, and that is how we do it in Charleston as well. So we ride our bikes down to the docks when we don't catch our own. And all right, let me put in these spices next, now that the butter is melted. You're still snipping away there.
I'm snipping away.
All right, so we've got all those spices in the butter and the garlic.
Gosh.
And then we're going to turn the stove up just a little bit and add the shrimp. And then this is the easiest part. Now you just put your spoon down, and you don't even, you're going to shake it. And you don't want to overcook shrimp. You know, it only takes a few minutes.
I know it. As soon as they kind of change colors, you're done.
That's right. So you got to kind of work fast. So this is
That's going to go together. Well, and let me show you quickly on this. You know, these floral sticks, you can pick up at any florist to get these, and just sticking those into the bottom of your citrus, and here again, that's going to really make a nice presentation with what we're doing today. Plus, the aroma is fantastic. All right, so you know, lots of things going on. We need to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to tell you a little bit more about how to win a giveaway. If you want to learn how to make biscuits like Carrie does, we're going to have something that we're going to give away, and we're also going to put together that caramelized onion galette. So come back with us in just a few minutes.
Vera's Corner is brought to you by Georgia Bank and Trust and Southern Bank and Trust.
Okay, let's talk onions. I'm using Vidalia onions for my next recipe, but I've got other members of the onion family here. A Vidalia onion is really sweet. It must be from Vidalia, Georgia to be called that. And then it's great for caramelizing. So if you've got a recipe that calls for sweet caramelized onions, be sure to use that. The red onion is a little assertive and spicy, and it's great. It's lightly sweet, and it comes out when you cook it. And then the shallot is a cross between a regular onion and a spicy red onion. Has a little bit of garlic in it, so it's perfect if you want that little hint of garlic in your recipe. And then finally, a leek. A lot of people think this is just a giant green onion, but it's really kind of tough when it's raw, so don't use it for that purpose, but it really softens up and is wonderful in soups and that sort of thing. So remember, onions are perfect in cooking. Welcome back, everybody, and I don't know about you, but I'm getting really hungry right this minute. Oh my goodness.
It smells so good.
Okay, so we're getting started on this Mama's Butter Galette, butter pie crust galette that is just amazing, and Vidalia onions that are just gonna cook and caramelize. Remember, we talked about that the Vidalia onion is great for caramelization. So I've caught up enough on the flowers, Carrie, that I can come over here and help you for just a minute. But we've got some butter melting. I've added a little bit of garlic, and I'm going to dump all of these onions in here to get them cooking, because it'll take just a little bit of time here. But in the meantime, we have some other ones that are going. But I got to tell you, we mentioned about the whole onion thing. So needless to say, we were cutting up onions to beat the band. And I've got my little handy dandy glasses.
I love them.
But didn't you tell me something about your daughter?
My daughter, I asked her to make some guacamole, and I walked back in the kitchen, and she had gone out to the pool house and gotten her actual swim goggles without me prompting her. And I said, "What are you doing?"
Oh, she is precious.
It just makes me cry, the onion, so I had to protect my eyes.
I guess it just runs in the family, that inherent way of knowing how to do stuff.
Isn't that funny?
Okay, so now you're getting started on
I'm making a homemade pie crust. My grandmother never bought the store-bought pie crust. She always made it, and I think people think it's very labor-intensive, but it's so easy. It's literally 4 ingredients: flour, salt, butter, and cold water. That's the key.
Cold water.
So so
while you're mixing that, the seasonings that go into this mixture for the galette is kosher salt. We've got fresh ground pepper. And as always, our recipes are available on our website at VeryVera.com or in Carrie's cookbook that we spoke about earlier. And there's so many great recipes in there. All right, this is a little Dijon mustard, so I'm going to stir that up. And let's see how you're coming.
I'm good.
See, look at that handwork.
I've got some strong hands from all the biscuits and pies that we make.
All right, so I'm going to whip this together. And, as you can see, this really cooks down. So you think that you've just cut up onions forever, but they cook down. But those ingredients together just really are going to be fantastic. But what makes this such a versatile dish is that you can use it for so many different things.
Yeah, I always have them in the freezer, and whether you're doing a sweet or a savory, I mean, it's a great weeknight thing to have, because you can throw chicken and vegetables in it and just have like a little fresh free-form pie, or you can make a dessert with it, just with peaches and sugar. It's just great to have pie crust on hand. So once you get it formed into a ball, I like to let mine sit in the freezer or fridge for at least 20 minutes if you're using it right then.
Right.
And then we've got some for TV, so we're gonna bring that out here.
That's the magic of television.
The magic of television. So here it is. And then
ready to go.
I always roll it out in between 2 pieces of parchment, because then
God, that's a great idea.
Saves on the mess, and it makes it a little bit easier with the stickiness, So let's see, put this parchment back on here, and then we're going to just roll it out.
And for those of you that don't are not familiar with Carrie, and her website is just, we've got that for you to go to and look at. But when they say they make this stuff by hand, they are making it by hand. I mean, literally, there's just a bunch of stainless steel bowls and friends of yours that come in and assist with these delicious handmade biscuits, and so the writing on the package says handmade, and that is exactly what it is.
We do.
Oh, look how pretty that's rolling out.
Yeah, and then not so sticky. You know, sometimes I think that's the hardest part, is people get a little intimidated by dealing with the raw dough. But this is super easy.
Well, you know, and I mean, honestly, you could multitask this yourself. I mean, it's awesome that we're doing this together. But, you know, if you're doing it by yourself, you know, you can have 2 pots of the onions going at one time, and gosh.
And then just check. That's the
So
perfect
that's about
thickness.
1/8 of an inch thickness.
Yeah. And then, just gonna throw that down.
Okay, so you're ready for this, right?
Yeah, we're just gonna transfer this to your sheet pan. And I love that it's not perfect and it's free form, and it's not gonna be like a perfect cookie cutter pie.
Okay, so this just goes right in the center.
Right in the center.
And you can spread it out.
Oh, they smell so good.
All right, well, we've got a little bit more to do on this. We've got to go to break, and we'll finish this up. But when we come back, we're going to get this Charleston party started, and you're going to love the way the flowers turned out. And so come back with us in just a few minutes. That's going to be so beautiful. Welcome back, everybody, and welcome to our Charleston party.
It's a party.
I know it. I just love the way everything turned out. Beautiful. So you were busy during the break finishing the galette.
Yep, we just added the grated Parmesan cheese and free-form folded it over, brushed it with a little egg wash, popped it in the oven, and then about 5 minutes before it was done, we pulled it back out, added some crumbled bacon, and then broiled it for a little less than 5 minutes. You really need to check your broiler though. Watch it closely. I keep my oven open and watch it the whole time. And then you can either serve this as an appetizer, great for football season, or with a salad, and then it's a full meal.
Great for football salad. So I'm just going to add a little dressing there, so that is fantastic. Okay, tell us about the shrimp.
The shrimp, I mean, here we are in the heart of football season right now, so this is a great crowd pleaser. You literally are just going to peel them, throw your peels in, take some bread and sop up all that delicious.
And that's just French bread.
It's just French bread, but you could use whatever bread you want, and make sure that the best part really is after you eat the shrimp, to get all of those juices out of that cast iron skillet.
So, and look at the cobbler.
The cobbler is looking good, super easy. We're gonna dig in here.
Okay, now remember, we said that Callie's biscuits are gonna be on sale for $3 off a package at all of our Fresh Market stores all the way through September 27th. Oh my gosh.
How great is that? Perfect.
The perfect dessert. All right, so I am gonna look at these flowers and how we did. So I hope you like this with the lemons, and just those colors just really turn out great. But you know, I learned a little tip recently, and I've been arranging flowers for close to 30 years. But if you will put just a little bit of Clorox in the water when you do a flower arrangement, it kills the bacteria and it makes the flowers last longer. And when you're doing flowers, you know, I like to incorporate, you know, different containers, things that you might not even use as a container, generally like a pitcher. And then if you're doing them for the dining room table or for your buffet, go ahead and do something little to put in the bathroom.
Oh, I love that.
Isn't that cute?
Yes, that's adorable.
I love it. Just love it. Okay, so now we've got a giveaway we're doing.
Yes.
So tell us about that.
So we are gonna see how y'all do making biscuits at home. So we're gonna give away one of our big stainless steel bowls that we use to make our biscuits, a rolling pin, a set of biscuit cutters.
Wow.
Some biscuit mix, my cookbook, a VeryVera apron, so you have no excuse. And then we're going to give you some frozen biscuits also, so you can do a little blind taste test and see how you did.
Absolutely. Check it out with your family.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, one of the things that I always love to point out when we do this sort of thing is that, you know, cookbooks are easy to read sometimes, and the ingredients look great, but you do the recipe and it maybe doesn't turn out too wonderfully. I can tell you I've made so many recipes in that book. They always turn out so beautifully. They're delicious. So Carrie, I want to thank you so much for joining us, and for all of you in the Charleston area, you've got to go visit her at her store, and in the
Atlanta,
Virginia
too.
Highlands area as well. But what I always say on the show, as you know, no matter what you do, do it in good taste. I feel like I've got great taste in friends and certainly female entrepreneurs. I hope you'll come back and join me really soon.
Would love it.
In the meantime, I want all of you to come back and join me next week for another episode of the VeryVera Show. I want to dig into some of this.
Let's eat. Let's eat.